So this is going to be the weekly outlook for week ending August 19th. Thanks for tuning back in to the weekly outlook. This is something people are going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for one day. Not to look too forward into the future, but I just love giving out game. This is fun. So in my weekly outlook last week, I said I have open long positions in CAD JPY, which is a volatile pair that can appreciate as oil prices increase. I will also be looking for entries to short gold. As the dollar appreciates, gold tends to have increased selling pressure. I think we'll see a revival of the dollar's strength as risk appetite falls. Remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. What I saw in the gold market earlier this week, well, this was August 15th, so I assume that's maybe 15th. That was Monday. I entered this position on Monday. So if we go back, and I'll take you through a visual of what I saw in real time. I've been looking to short this because I've been anticipating a rise in the dollar. And what I saw, we had 3 instances where price did not want to go past this 1801 level. Then the money entry came when I saw a close below this prior area of support right here. When we saw this, I knew it was going to take off to the downside. I had pretty good conviction, and let's see what happened. It did. And as I started to realize that we had more pressure and potential to go to the downside, because I have my ideal target down here at the 1684 level. The thing about trading, especially things like commodities, well, not really commodities, but currencies specifically, but I am bullish or bearish on this pair, so it will be applicable. But often what goes up has to come down, and you're going to have areas of value where price has to be filled in. Traders have a term for that. I'm not too sure because I'm not the most technical trader, but I was anticipating what one of my friends calls the paintbrush effect. So price will paint upwards, but it has to eventually paint downwards. We see this quadruple pop up here, and right when we get this close right here, I entered this trade, and all throughout this trade I was monitoring it actively, looking for areas to add, and this was the most profitable trade I've had in my 2-year career, and I'm still in it. So we're currently right here at 1747, entering at 1784, and my long-term target is the 1711 level as well as the 1684 level. I did take profits on some of them. That's why I have this alert right here, because I would love to continue to add to this position, but I did end up taking profits. I also traded Bitcoin, did the same thing. The price action and the chart looks the exact same almost, and same thing. I wanted to enter right when I got a close below prior lows. So for this instance, it was right here at the 23,518 level. Now, Bitcoin, I have made a mistake and I closed way too early. So I would like to go back here and highlight the area where I got out, because I didn't capture all of this, being fully transparent. But on Bitcoin, something that I was looking to short all week, and unfortunately I missed the bulk of this trade because I was at the gym, and when I'm at the gym I like being present and being in the gym, not worried about trading. So right when we got this wick, I thought this was about to be a reversal to the upside, and naturally as humans sometimes we panic, we want to lock in our profits, but psychology. Trading is 80% psychology, 20% technical and fundamental, 80% psychology. So I saw this and I said, man, we just hit an area of value, which I have highlighted right here in this red zone, and I just took my profits. But maybe if I wouldn't even have checked my phone while at the gym, I could have come back later and seen the potential that we had to the downside and seen more realized profits. Because as you see, that wasn't the best area to take profits right when I saw that wick, because I got out somewhere within this range of the wick. But looking back, man, this one was one I had to kick myself on, knowing that all this was left on the table. Let's just get a visualization to where it is right now. Yeah, so exiting right there, currently right there. Not the best, but that's the thing. In trading, you live and you learn. We saw an increase in treasury yields as the dollar was appreciating, and there was more reasons to believe that they're going to continue to hike rates at aggressive levels. We had the Fed minutes release on Wednesday, which was basically reiterating that they will begin reducing their balance sheet, and that they agreed that a 75 basis point hike was reasonable. Going forward, we are at a resistance line as far as the technicals on the 10-year, but who knows what will impact this next week. The dollar, as we've seen, as I said, I was anticipating its strength. I started to look at this area right here, which was a monthly support level, which is at the 104.69 level. And I said, man, we're getting a little bit too low. I think this is a potential, I think it was a bull trap. And a lot of people started shorting against the dollar because we were having some depreciation. But we have to think about the underlying macro factors. Why would something like the dollar be going down in times of uncertainty? So I was like, okay, this gives me a great opportunity to be a contrarian and go against the grain, go against the crowd, and profit, which I did. Nas, which is my favorite pair. Now this is not on my live account. This is actually paper trading. I've decided to start paper trading Nas until 2023. The reason being is Nas is something that moves extremely fast. If you get in at a good price and you are in the money, your account is going to be flexing, to be honest. But the thing is, when it's the opposite and when you're down, that does not have a good impact on your psychology. So the reason being, I'm going to take a break from trading Nas, but I'm going to learn how this moves on a day-to-day for the next 4 months, studying Nas. And that's really a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, because I'm in this for the long run. As far as global markets, we saw emerging markets down this week. We saw SP 500 down this week. We saw the British market up surprisingly, and the Japanese market was slightly up as well. And now, as far as my Forex, the only things that I'm looking at, the only two pairs that I look at for Forex is the US dollar Chinese yuan relationship, because this was up. This is why this is another catalyst for me shorting gold. I do have highlighted here that China cut its rates, which makes it less attractive against the dollar as far as yields go, because the dollar, we're sitting at a overnight rate of 2.25 to 2.5, I believe, and it's anticipated for a 75 basis point hike next month. Something I've also been aware of is reading a lot of analysis ratings. They're expecting this to get up to 6.9 by year end, and that is going to be horrible for something like gold. So I'm going to definitely be looking to capitalize on that. But something that we're also going to have to be aware of is oil. And if I go to the indicators, oil was down on the week, and I do think it's primarily because the Chinese economy, they are very close to a recession, And reason being because they are doing something that is very similar to the 2008 financial crisis in America. Over leveraging in the housing sector, which is about 30% of their GDP, 13 to 30%. I'm not sure which one it was. I have to go back and read. But they're over leveraging, and over leverage, it can be great in times of prosperous times. But when we hit that peak, when we hit that peak, and things start to change, leverage can be your worst enemy. And they're seeing a lot of slower growth, and the Chinese economy could be going through a recession for an extremely long time. But with that being said, China does import the most oil. They consume the most oil, and anytime they're forecasted to go through a weak economic period, oil starts to fall. The demand for oil starts to be speculated that's going to be going to the downside, and people start. This starts futures. They start to short this. They start taking profits, or they just start trading this to the downside. But Euro USD, this was also one of the better trades of my career. Like I said, I was very bearish on the euro and bullish on the dollar. So me entering on a limit order right when we had, because I initially missed this candle right here when we closed below these prior lows over here. So got in a limit. It was in a small drawdown, which is totally fine. But once we got that movement and a movement back to that level, I started to, say, okay, this could possibly go in my favor. And then the breaking point was when we broke this line that I have right here. This is when I started to add more to my position. And then on a macro time frame, something that I've been seeing was that ever since a month ago, July 19th, we've had so much support at this area. But eventually it got to the point where the buyers could no longer buy this up, and the sellers took over. And right when I saw this 1 hour close below this zone, I knew it was time to add more to the position. And even though I'm not currently in the trade no more, as I got out at 10085, it was a great trade. So I got out around this level, took some profits. That was fine. I would like to get back in it. I do think that we're going to see some appreciation next week, just because, just the law of gravity, what goes up must come down. So I'm going to be looking to potentially add to the position if I see it. I also caught UJ. Entries were above these prior highs, rode this up to the upside, and got out pretty early as well at 134.814. 134, man. Yeah, I got out very early. I remember this being the one where I was trailing my stops a little bit too tight. It barely tipped over, and yeah, missed a lot, but you can't be mad at taking profits. So that is the market analysis for the week. During my weekly outlook, I'll just be highlighting some things I took on during the week. I'll have a summary of the positions that I was in, and some things that I'm going to be looking at next week. Also, something that I normally don't do, but I gave my bearish case for Netflix and why I think it has the potential to become the next blockbuster, ironically. So, should be interesting. I will link that in the bio. And any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. I'm here for y'all. Peace.